and thank you everyone for joining us today. As Caitlin said, we're going to go through and just talk about what tools we have available to migrate from QuickBooks, GP, or other platforms into the Business Central, into Dynamics 365 Business Central. So when we take a look at what we're looking at on my screen is the role center, or a role center for Business Central. Now, one of the things I've been demoing BC to GP customers almost daily, and one of the things one of the things I find really common and really intriguing is the number of integration it takes to run their business on GP. So whether that's getting data like invoices or general journals or payments from a third party and bringing them into GP, one of the things I want to encourage everyone to take a look at is to really evaluate Business Central, as there may be an opportunity to utilize the built-in functionality in Business Central around CRM, sales orders, quote to invoice and quote to payable. There's certainly an opportunity to still remain with all of your current add-ons. And what we'll talk about also today is, regardless of whether you can have an opportunity to replace some of those integrations and work with Base BC, we're going to look at some of the tools, as well as we have Smart Connect, that make this transition to running your business from GP onto Business Central quite seamless and quite an easy segue forward. So let's take a look at how easy it is to set up a company. Basically, when I download, and you can download a demo company, a free trial for 30 days. When we create a new company, we're going to have the standard Microsoft Business Central Kronos company. Okay? We can use our search to go ahead and go to companies. And we can simply create a new company by selecting the New button, or we can select Process to copy an existing company. So I've created a couple of companies here that are blank. Now, notice that I have this company, my company here, is set up as Enabled Assistant Company Setup. And that's one of the things we're going to focus on today, is how we can both set up a company utilizing the Business Central wizards and the assisted setup functions in Business Central. So I'm going to switch, now that we've seen how easy it is to set up a new copy or create a new company, we're going to go to My Settings, and I'm going to switch from the Kronos company to my company, which is a blank company. And when I select that company, it should take me directly into the Setup Wizard. The initial Setup Wizard is just taking me through my company setup. Here's where I easily add the name of my company, the address, all the basic information. I can import my company logo, anything that's going to fill out our customer information card or company information card. Now note here, I went right to bank feed services, and I'm going to use a bank feed service just to show you when we open the bank feed services, it's automatically taking me to the opportunity to link an account. I have the major banks here. I can also search for a bank, and the odds are pretty good that there is an automated function here to select and move through linking Business Central to your bank services. Now here we can specify what our bank company name is, our branch number, our account number, etc. We specify what our company's physical year is. It's basically just walking us through the key information about the company. We can set our costing method. It's taking me through every step, and that's it. We hit finish. And that's going to basically fill out some very basic information in our company. Now I'm going to go to a great new feature called Assisted Setup. Assisted Setup is going to offer us a number of tools. And this is really exciting because this evolves all the time. And one of the things I noticed in this latest release, and something that is proved over the last few months, is we have a number of assisted setups here for our options. One of the new features that has is also available is it's brought in help text right here and a short video. These videos are less than 5 minutes. They will give you a quick overview of what you're getting into, or you can go right to the help text. But let's talk about some of these specifically. When we set up a cloud migration, this is going to help you go from an on-prem service to cloud. Additionally, we have migrate business data. Migrate business data is where we take a look at and we can use the setup guides for specifically QuickBooks GP or take Excel. Now, I just opened the extension management. Here I can show you the available integration tools that are here in the extension management. And note that I have a Dynamics GP data migration as well as a Dynamics GP Intelligent Cloud. This is cloud to cloud. This is on-prem to cloud. These are tools that are already available. They're built in, and we simply install them to utilize the tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, now that we know where we can get to open extension management and select our migration tool, there's QuickBooks tool as well, by the way. Now I can choose the source for my data. I can import from Excel. And here's where I can select the type of data migration that I'm going to make. I can go from QuickBooks Online, QuickBooks, and here I can import from GP. Once I select my data source, I can select Next, and here's the indications of what's going to happen. In order to prepare the data migration, it's going to give you a couple steps. To go to GP, your file menu, go into maintenance and export data. Okay? Tells you the versions that this tool is available for. And then once you've prepared your files, then we can go in and it will walk through the master records. And each of these pages and each of these tools has the specific steps and the specific considerations for you to select to migrate your data from GP into Business Central. Now, one of the big differences in the chart of accounts between Dynamics GP and Business Central is the use of segments versus dimensions, okay? So we can certainly dive into that and go into that to great detail. We'll probably do another demo on migrating segments to dimensions, but it will convert some of your segments to dimensions. This is part of analysis and design in determining what segments need to be converted into what dimensions. Here you can use your existing chart of accounts. You can create a new chart of accounts, or also can specify some general journal transactions, okay? So as we move through this, and we move from table to table, this is going to set us up to pick our files for import, okay? And bring those directly into Business Central. I'll take a quick look. When we take a quick look at some of the other options, and I'm going to go back and select Excel. This is a great feature, even if you want to update your data. So we can get information to Excel. Maybe I want to clean it up before I migrate it. So maybe I have a segue from GP to Excel, I clean it up, and I bring in only the records I want into Business Central. We have an opportunity to migrate from Excel. It's incredibly easy. We can download the Excel templates, and basically what those are going to do is give us Excel templates that we need to fill in the data. Additionally, we can select and choose related tables. Related tables are things like for the customer card, I have a related table called terms code. Well, what the system does is it goes out and finds those related tables for you and brings them into your templates. But just for the purpose of this overview today, I'm just going to show you that we can bring out the table into Excel and you have the opportunity to fill this in Excel, create your customer list, create your vendor list, copy and paste your items, however this works for you, and then bring that directly back into Business Central. We can go into settings. What settings allows us to do is create templates that help convert or create default values. So if there are fields that are available in Business Central that were not available in GP, we may want to auto-populate those. We can do that by setting up default templates. We can set up default templates such as customer, business-to-business customers, or cash retail customers. There are templates available to you, and you can create your own custom templates as well. But these help us fill in some of the values that are required in the Business Central tables and make sure they're populated when the data comes over into Business Central. So notice I have a series of templates here for the item cards. Example may be that we need a base unit of measure. We need some inventory posting groups, general product posting groups. And these templates are going to help fill in some of those values that are unique to Business Central, or even update those if they are changing from your GP tables to Business Central. So it's very quick and easy. You download your templates, you can fill in the template with your data, you can import using templates, or you can simply import the data file and upload that into Business Central. When it goes through the settings, if there's any errors, it allows you to correct those, to make adjustments, to change data in your table and bring those in again, and it will walk you through. Okay. In this case, it says, wait a second, you haven't specified the import settings. It just wants to make sure you double check that you deliberately don't want to use templates to bring in. So you can say yes, and there we go. It's going to, I'm going to say, business to business. In my item, I'm going to use my base one, and in my vendors, I'm going to use business to business. Okay, and then here we can choose our files. Okay, simple as going out and grabbing an Excel template and bringing that into the system. Once we've imported our data, it's not the end. You can take that data back out to Excel, modify it, update it, make changes, and bring that data back in. So for example, if I were to bring in my entire customer list and then I decided that I want to clean up some addresses, I don't necessarily have to go into each customer card and make those changes manually. I can use what's called a configuration package. The configuration package is also an opportunity for us to take data from Business Central, master records, for example, and bring those out into Excel, make changes, and bring them back in. I'm going to take a quick look at configuration packages. Here I can select various tables in Business Central. So for example, in this example, I just grabbed my master records, GL account. I can select which table fields I want to update by going into the table fields and selecting using the selection tool. I can clear included, it defaults to everything, and I can select the values that I want to include in my update. So say my worksheet, I want to see name, I want to see my account type, I want to see whether it's debit or credit, so on and so forth. What this is going to do is this is creating or selecting the columns that you're going to see in Excel. I can simply use, I've selected this table, I can simply use export to Excel. Now I can use export one line, I can export all lines into a workbook, but just for the sake of example, I'm going to select this line and open this into Excel, and we can see that I can open my existing chart of accounts, and I can make changes. Perhaps I'm making changes to descriptions. I want to add new accounts. I can insert lines, add new accounts, state their posting type, and then I can save this and import this back in and automatically update my records. So it takes a lot of the manual labor out of bringing data in, modifying or updating that information in Business Central, and basically creating a clean start. Additionally, in our assisted setup, These are things we used to have to manually do. We used to go into our email and set up our SMTP services. Now we have wizards available. Okay, we have wizards available to set up the initial company. It just walks us through and populates all the fields for us instead of us clicking through tab by tab, field by field. The wizards are walking us through this. I can set up email, and when I set up email, it says I already completed this, but I'm just going to walk you through it again. When I set up email, it's as simple as walking through and saying, I'm going to set up my interface to Office 365, Outlook, whatever my email provider is. I've set this up already this morning because I'm interfaced with E365. I can set this up for individuals, or I can set this up for my company, and that's it. I can send a test email out to verify that it works. Setting up your business inbox in Outlook is an additional setup. This is so that I have that interaction between Business Central and Outlook. Here again, I can set this up for my Exchange services. I can say whether I'm setting up my mailbox or the organization, etc. I walk through the wizard and I am now connected. This enables me to, for example, in creating a quote, I can create a quote, select email to customer, and now I'm automatically opening up Outlook and sending it. I'm still in my blank setup company. So we've covered a couple things. We've covered the data migration tools, the assisted setup, transferring information to Excel and from Excel, and bringing that information into and setting up the basis for a new company in Business Central. Do we have any questions from the group regarding the data migration or transitioning your base data from GP or business or QuickBooks? Do we have any questions about the tools available to get your migrate data to BC?
No, there looks like there are no questions right now about the data migration tools.
Okay, so we can certainly, I would really encourage you to do a couple of things. One, I'd encourage you to reach out to your sales executive and request a link to a trial database. Here it allows you to open up and receive this Kronos database where you can play around, get to know what's available to you. It will also prompt you for a free trial. In a free trial, you can upload some of your business data and play around with Business Central in your with your own information. So when you take a look or talk to your sales executive, we can certainly help you get that started, and that may prompt you to take a deeper dive into some of the functionality, the core functionality like sales order processing or sales to invoice, quote to cash. And we can walk you through those and see if there's maybe an opportunity to light load in terms of the number of integrations. Additionally, when we look at information, one of the things I wanted to touch on is, just speaking of integrations, is this is an example of a general journal and exporting a general journal from the general journal to Excel. And the reason I wanted to touch on this today, as well as the other integrations, is I wanted to show you the features here when we talk about data, when we talk about our ability in Business Central to bring data from multiple sources into Business Central. You have integrations now. We certainly write integrations to keep those integrations going forward in Business Central. We also have built-in tools from Excel that allow me to get data right here from the Excel platform. This is no configuration from a developer or from an implementer. These are tools that are available for you, where you can get information from a file, a database, from Azure, an online service, and bring it right in here into a template that could be a general journal, a payment journal, um, a purchase journal, a sales journal. You have the opportunity to work with hands-on some of your own information or your own resources without even going through a sophisticated data migration. Of course, we want to be hands-off, but you certainly have some great tools here, just some basic tools here to use to exchange data and bring data into Business Central.
Okay. I was going to say, we did have a question that came in. Can I extend my 30-day, the new company trial after it expires?
It depends. Usually it is the 30-day. So if you want to extend beyond 30 days, you may be able to start a new one. So I would reach out to your sales executive and we can take a look at the options for you.
Okay, and then another question. So the Office, so does Business Central fully integrate then with Office 365 and the suite of
It does.
applications? Okay.
It does. It does. So if I'm here as I am logged in as the mod administrator, here is my Office 365. So here's my Dynamics 365 platform that I can select, but these are all integrated, okay? So I can go from Business Central to Word, I can take reports directly to Excel, I can go from my Power BI direct to creating a PowerPoint presentation if I want to present some of my KPIs. Again, I have Outlook integrated. Business Central is right here. I can go to Business Central. I can look at my contact insights here. I have a direct, and this respects whatever permissions you have in Business Central. So if you're accessing Business Central through Outlook, it's not a backdoor in. It's basically respecting whatever permissions you have, and you have those permissions and opportunities to do that right from Excel. We have AppSource, and then of course Business Central. So if I want to print and send a sales invoice, or a customer calls me and wants to know, wants a copy of a previous invoice, I can directly navigate from that request that maybe came through an email to Business Central, and then use the print and send option, and it's going to go right to Outlook. So I have a print send option right here, and I can email confirmation. It's going to go to the default email address on the account, but I can change that. This is what the body of the email looks like. It puts this together for me. This is user configurable, so you can change this message if you'd like to. This is the default message. Gives them a little overview of what that looks like, and we can send it. So when we're integrated, we are fully integrated. It's a very nice, very seamless move to sending and communicating information directly out of Business Central with your customers.
Okay, I'm just checking the question box one more time. Looks like we do not have any additional questions. Any final thoughts from you, Colleen?
No, I just want to thank everybody for taking the time today. I know that was a very quick overview. The tools are very robust, and we'd be happy to answer any further questions you have if you want to reach out to us at any time.
Yes, and I would like to echo that sentiment from Colleen. Thanks so much for joining us. And just as a reminder, you will be seeing that follow-up email from our team with a link to the recording, and also have some contact information in case you do want to reach it back out to us. So thanks again, everyone, and we hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.